Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome award-winning, multi-platinum country music icon and star of the upcoming Fox series Monarch, Trace Adkins.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
The following is an All-Star 15 TV production.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a little different event that we had planned for tonight with the hurricane in the southeast. We decided to postpone that to next week, so we'll be in Darlington, South Carolina next week. But for tonight, we're doing a charity event to raise some money for Chimney Rock, North Carolina. Gonna see if we could send some money out that way so they can rebuild, get better, and expedite the process of people resuming their lives. The links are in both the Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch chat. But joining me up in the broadcast booth this evening is the wonderful, and I think for the first time broadcasting on the channel, we've covered him multiple times in multiple leagues, but it's Brandon Storr.
How's it going, AJ? Great to be here in the booth.
Yeah. When you mentioned that you wanted to jump up here and have some fun, I was like, yeah, that's somebody I could have some fun with. And that's kind of what we're going to do tonight. We're going to see if we could raise some money for a great cause. As I mentioned, the links are in the description and in the chat, so just click on them. Anything will help them in North Carolina. But we're looking for a fun race. It's the mini stocks around Charlotte Motor Speedway, the old configuration. We're going to start with a couple heat races, 8-lap heat races, and then a 50-lap feature. For what I'm getting from a lot of these drivers is they could basically be wide open the whole time. This is the first time I'm actually seeing these mini stocks on track. They were just added to the sim. Brandon, I'm excited to have you up here. What are you expecting for tonight outside of raising some money for a great cause?
Well, definitely want to make sure everyone is out there donating and trying to help take care of North Carolina. We got to take care of our friends in need. But tonight, what I expect to see these cars to be really shifty whenever they're on track. They don't really grip the track, and especially considering this is the legacy version of Charlotte, this track does not have a lot of grip to it. It's a little bit wider of a surface, so it's going to make the racing a lot better side by side and a little bit dicey.
Yeah, I'm expecting it to be very dicey. A lot of these drivers, this is the first time they're in these vehicles. But before we run through the lineup, got to give a nice shout out to the wonderful people that already have donated from ACAR, from a couple other teams, leagues that are involved with All-Star 15 TV. You're going to see Dalton Fredericks in the field. He donated. Joe Hutchings donated. Nathan Orlowski, Paul Irvin, myself, I donated. $20 out of my fee went right to them. Brandon, we got 8 people. It's going to be a very short short heat race. But it's going to reset the field for when we go to the 50-lap feature. I'm excited to see these cars finally on track. Let's run down that lineup real fast for everybody watching at home. Zach Domer, Dalton Fredericks, your front row. Nate Orlowski and Alan Michael Bennett, your row 2. Row 3, Ryan Fry and Mick Olofsson. And Brendan Dunford and Nick Fuller rounding out the 4-row field. They've already got the one to go. It's almost go time, everybody. This is the first time we're going to see these mini stocks on the channel. I hope we get to see them more often in the future. But yeah, this is going to be fun, pal.
Well, and expect to see at the very start of this race, the middle of the pad's going to be really dicey because we saw in practice whenever they were drafting that these cars get really, really dicey whenever you're that second car back and that third car back. So the start of this race is going to catch a couple of these guys by surprise.
Yeah, we're going to have to keep an eye on that. There are cautions. There are fast repairs. Eight cars in the field. That pace car is about to duck down pit road for cover, as we are going to send 8 of these mini stocks down into turn 1 for some, as TJ would say, chaos. Here we go. There it is, green flag in the air. Dalton Fredericks on pole, leads them to the line, and as they head down into turn 1, Zach Domer on the outside.
We've got a wreck in the back that has already taken place. The car didn't quite get off the line exactly how they wanted to, and a little bit of contact.
Looking at it right here. Oh! It looked like the 32 of Ryan Fry might have missed shift. Because he got going and then it just stalled. Jump on board with him.
Starting to wonder if maybe he didn't know where the rev limiter was going to hit compared to when he needed to shift, because these guys haven't practiced restarts, just getting on and off pit road.
No, and if you jump on board, Brandon, he hits the gas, it goes straight to 8,000 and just holds there, and that's where he gets clipped from behind. Wow. Well, that was interesting.
That was unexpected.
Very
hey,
much
we said there was going to be chaos at the beginning. It just happened about a turn earlier than we expected.
And if they wreck right now in the heat, they're going to have a brand new car when it comes to the feature anyway. As there goes Ryan Fry down pit road to try to clear some of that damage. He's going to go a lap down.
So let's make sure to verify these fast repairs are between the heats, correct? It is not during the race.
I think you can get a fast repair in both the heats and the main event. I haven't been told different.
Well, with these guys hitting pit road, we're going to find out here in a second if they come right back off.
Waiting to see Ryan's car basically turn into a brand new vehicle. And it looks like they're stuck with that damage for the heat. Okay, unless they unchecked it, which I don't know.
Well, if you miss a shift, you might accidentally miss a fast repair. You never know.
The front tire on that 32, it's not turning. It's not even on the ground.
That's like mini socks having next-gen problems with these tires.
You see that too, right?
I absolutely see. That car is... It's almost like you put switches in that car from a 1964 Impala. It's not a Ford, so it might be. It does say not a Ford on the front of that car. That paint scheme looks pretty awesome.
It does, and it's paying tribute to Pete Rose, who unfortunately passed away just a couple hours ago. He got that made really fast as the lights are off in the iRacing official pace car right around Legacy Charlotte for the Chimney Freak 50 later on after this heat race. But thank you to everybody for donating. If you have, I know it's going to mean a lot to the people that are going to be receiving parts of these funds to get their community and their lifestyles back on track. But before we get green, I want to say thank you to, hopefully if somebody's watching, to our wonderful new sponsor on the channel, W Energy. W is a brand of energy drinks that are designed to be clean, flavorful, and focused just on energy. Use code AS15TV to save 10% on your orders. Visit w.gg to make your order today. But here goes that pace car, and we are green again. That's a long time to wait for that. Great launch for the 20 once again. It was take two as they fly down into turn 1, Brandon. They're going to stay side by side for that lead.
Well, I'm curious if they're going to hold back a little bit after having a little bit of controversy on the start and collecting each other. Are they going to try and get to the end of the heat, or are they going to go all in?
Well, since the heat is only 8 laps, I would assume them to go all in. Zach Domer out of 2 with the advantage into turn 3. He's going to use that high side, and right there, that's where he's going to give up a lot of ground to Dalton Fredericks and Nate Orlowski coming out of 4.
And it seems like that low line is definitely having a little bit more momentum than the top line. You're not seeing as much of a pull, although the 14 is getting a good side draft, so the air definitely works these cars more. That low line is where the speed's going to be, I think, during this.
Yeah, that outside lane able to hold the momentum coming out of turn 2. As there goes Zach Domer once again. You could see Orlowski trying to give the 20 a little bit of an arrow push. Oh, and there it goes. Cut off the 14. That's how I think you're going to have to take these leads, is really try to slide job people through these turns.
Well, and I originally was saying I think that low line's going to stick, but I mean, I was just proven wrong that, you know, you can race on any line, and it's going to be about where the draft is, where the momentum is, and they are
Contact!
Oh!
Ah! Oh no! Oh!
They almost collected it. That 3-wide move, just, it was too tight. It was too tight.
Good thing they're getting this out in the heat. They're giving everybody at home a show. And I back that up coming out of turn 2. Three wide, bouncing off of each other. See Mick Olofsson getting involved. And we are going to go under caution for the second time. Might actually end the heat. I don't know if they have green-white checkers in the heats. Actually, I think they do.
Well, if it's a green-white checker, you just got to send it. But I think the hole just closed up a little bit back in looking at it. I think the 14 car put it in there, and both cars tried to make a slight blocking move on either side of them, and there's nothing he could do.
That's what it looked like. There was really nothing there, and Dalton kind of got the shaft on the end of that. He was just racing to that outside, and he was running, and out of nowhere gets clipped, turned, and he ends up going headfirst into the wall. He's down on pit road. We're checking to see if there's anything terminal on that number 20. We're gonna stay with him for just a quick second. It looks like the fry machine is done for the heat. They're gonna get a new car out there for the feature, but down and away, Dalton Fredericks looks like he might be able to continue.
Well, and it sounded like, just in listening into the driver chat a little bit, that they do have one fast repair per heat race, or per race. So ultimately, Fry is now Ryan Fry has used up his and does not have that. So, and it looks like we are going to have a green-white checker, and it is the final caution where we will attempt a green-white checker based off of race communications. So we will not be unlimited on these green-white checkers.
All right, we are back. Pace lights are off. Nate Orlowski, Mick Olofsson on that front row. Then you go back to Fuller and Domer. And after that, it's Bennett and Fredericks. We're going to see if any of that damage on that Fredericks mini stock is going to cost him any speed. We're going to find out. Only one retiree from the heat race. And that's Ryan Frey with the lap 1 incident. Pace car is off. They're waiting from the green flag from Barney the flagman. And there it is. We are green once again. The only green-white checkered in the heat.
And I'll tell you, Dalton there in the back got a great start. And if I know him from racing against him, he is not going to hold back. He's going to do what it takes to get to that front.
Oh, let's stack up on the outside. That's going to open up the door for Nate Orlowski as they head down the back straightaway.
And you can see the air is definitely the reason why these cars go faster. The draft makes a huge difference as that top line is now starting to get some momentum. Oh, and they're flirting with 3 wide at the front on the low side. The 8 car.
Dunford
that is
to
Brandon
the point.
Dunford.
What a move. Oh.
Little bit of contact.
Little bit of a door bang heading down into turn 3. Dalton looking for the lead. I don't think he's going to get it, but he definitely hard charged. Oh, the 34 is getting spun. And Dalton and Nate involved in the wreck. But Brandon Dunford is going to win heat number 1.
Hey, you got to put it on the line there at the end. And that was the final green-white checkered. You got to do what it takes.
Wow, what a finish.
That was a great race. Not only what could happen in this next segment.
Well, that's going to open it up for the feature now. Now that it is set for the feature, they have 50 laps to now contend for. You're going to have Brandon Dunford, Alan Michael Bennett in second. In your second row, you're going to have Nick Fuller, Zach Domer. Your third row, Dalton Fredericks, Nate Orlowski, and then Mick Olofsson and Ryan Frey in row number 4. So, with the chaos we saw in the heat race, Brandon, I gotta think that it's going to be a little more tame to get through the 50 laps.
It has to be. They definitely raced like there was only 8 laps. And if you do that in this, you're only going to last 8 laps. So these guys need to get into a rhythm, figure out their positioning, and we're going to see them run, unfortunately, in a straight line for a little bit, but it's going to allow us to see some shiftiness and really highlight some of these paint schemes.
What a crazy heat. I don't know if it's going to transfer over to the feature. I gotta think, like we just mentioned, that they're going to be a little more patient. But then again, I've been wrong many times before.
Well, these guys are talking like they don't know how they're going to be able to do that many laps because the 8 laps was already tough enough. But who do you have your eye on this race? Who do you think's going to get it?
Well, I was surprised by Dunford on how he made that move in 1 and 2, but I gotta go with the 20 of Dalton Fredericks. If it's got wheels, he can drive it.
Well, we're gonna find out here.
And we are green, and there we go. Great start by that whole inside lane, heading down to turn 1 for the first time tonight.
And I want to make sure I point out that Ryan Frey is probably very proud of that restart this time.
Yeah, I don't know if he downshifted by accident or upshifted too early, but he redlined immediately. See the Al Michael Bennett car in the wall coming out of 2. That's going to get him passed by multiple cars. Head towards turn 3. The Mick Olofsson's loose. Big save.
Oh, but I'll tell you, Mick Olofsson had a great restart. He ended up pushing up to the high side to get into that draft of Dalton Fredericks. Absolutely A-class driving as he's just sideways.
Yeah, and he's still sideways in 1 and 2. That 34 is a beautiful looking scheme with the RV center on the side.
It absolutely is. Although I got my eye on that North Carolina flag car. I'm liking that paint scheme. I'm liking the cause, and he's in a good spot.
Oh! Oh, these cars look evil in the daytime. Let's check what we have
And this
for track 94 degrees for track temperature, Brandon.
This track is not doing them any favors at 94 degrees, and it's the rough surface of the Legacy.
Yeah, so for anybody watching at home, if it's their first time seeing old Legacy Charlotte, what's the difference between Legacy Charlotte and the Charlotte we normally race on here on the sim?
We touched on it a little bit at the beginning, but the biggest thing is that the surface is a little bit more worn in. Doesn't have a repave to it. The other part of it is that the track does widen out across the tri-oval and the turns themselves. You lose racing surface on the current model of the track, whereas this Legacy one, a little bit wider. The banking is a little bit more consistent as well. So it definitely makes it where you're going to be sideways a lot more. You're going to be shifty.
Yeah, we're still watching this front pack right here. Let's jump and take a look at that 34 of Mick Olofsson, as it seems like once those tires got warm, he's been able to keep the car underneath him. As the 20 goes through the grass, through the tri-oval.
Hey, if there's a pass in the grass, this is the track to do it at.
And just a crack of the throttle, and that's it. And they're right back into it.
The feedback we were getting from the drivers during practice was that they were able to stay in it, and it raced similar to a Daytona or a Talladega. So it's just a matter of keeping the car planted enough and not twitch out, and that's all you got to burp the throttle for.
And it really does look like a Daytona race around Charlotte Motor Speedway. This is absolutely insane.
Thought we were at Atlanta for a second, the way these cars are racing. It was like we had that 88 car get to the wall a little bit again. He's still trying to figure out the... Oh! We have a wreck. Looked like Dalton got hooked.
Oh, that one's going to leave a mark.
Just a little bit. Slight scratch. That yellow paint's going to be gone on that wall.
Let's see what happens here. He's got Brandon Dunford to his outside. Oh, neck code. Neck code involved there. They might have touched anyway, but kind of took it out of the driver's hands there.
And you could tell the 8 car was coming down for a little bit of a side draft, which this style of racing, whenever it's acting like it's a restrictor plate, you have to get down on that car. You have to utilize the air and be able to give yourself an advantage, and that's what's going to happen when you get close contact.
Absolutely. And we are under a caution for the first time in the feature race. Nate Orlowski, Nick Fuller, Mick Olofsson, Zach Domer, Alan Michael Bennett, Ryan Fry, Brandon Dunford, and Dalton Fredericks rounding out the field we have right now. We are going to take a quick commercial break. When we return, it'll be the restart from Charlotte Motor Speedway. You're watching the charity event. The Chimney Rock 50 from Charlotte Motor Speedway for the GoFundMe to help with the relief efforts in North Carolina. We'll be right back, everybody.
Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We are back. Lap 10, about to put a lap 11 on the board. Olafs and Domer, your front row. First restart of the feature race here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And there we go. Green flag in the air, and Domer with a restart of a lifetime on the outside. Gonna fly into turn 1 as Fredericks is gonna go to the outside right by the 88 of Alan Michael Bennett. He's got a brand new car. Only one of those fast repairs.
Well, he may need to hang back because I think we may end up having more fast repairs being used at the front as they're dicing around almost as if it was the 8-lap segment again.
Absolutely. That's why we jumped to a little bit further back of the cam so we could see everything. I thought the 14 was going to go around, and then I thought the 34 was going to go around. I couldn't tell you how they're holding on to these mini stocks because they look out of control.
They absolutely are. And one interesting thing that I think we need to watch as we go throughout this race, it was noted that these tires stick out from the body more, almost as if being able to have the reaction of an open wheel car whenever contact is made. So if you go bumper to bumper, you'll be fine. But if you go side to side and you have that side contact, we could see again what happened to Dalton.
Yeah, that was a big wreck, and oh, there goes the 2.
It's a rookie again.
The 14 and the 2. Out of 4.
And Ryan Fry. Oh no! Ryan Fry after the fact into the wall.
Oh yeah, he clips the grass and oh! It looked like Nate Arlowski comes up right into the 14. Hard racing out of 4. The 2 just comes up to follow Brandon Dunford out of the turn. But this is gonna hurt. It looks like Ryan goes to miss it and just loses all control of the car. Oh! It done broke, it did.
Well, and I think that's a little bit of this open wheel process where when the open wheel cars make contact side by side, it's almost immediate that it turns. No chance to collect it. These cars are different.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it seems like it's running like an open wheel. What are some things that these drivers who are normally used to running NASCAR stock cars or the Craftsman Truck Series trucks, what is something that they have to adjust to when it comes to running a vehicle that is basically has those open wheel tires?
They're going to have to adapt side by side, where you're able to lean on the guy on your outside a little bit more and make just a little bit of contact. That's not going to be able to happen as easily unless you are square with that person. This car still seems to run like it is a full-bodied stock car, from a sense that you're able to get a good draft, you're able to get shifty with the car, and it's pretty well stable. But once that contact happens, it's done. They gotta watch that contact going forward.
Absolutely. Links in the description and in the chat if you'd like to donate to the Hurricane Relief Fund for Chimney Creek, North Carolina. Looks like they are really close to meeting their goal, which very proud of a lot of our guys to Chimney Rock, I'm sorry. Really close to meeting their goal. Let's give you a little bit of a rundown on that. Where art thou? There it is. Their goal is $10,000, and they've raised $7,156, and that is in just about 36 hours, Brandon.
That's some fantastic donations. Really appreciate anyone who is willing to donate and can do their part. It's something that nobody ever can imagine going through, and it's really important that as a nation we support each other going forward, especially in times of need like this.
Absolutely, and that's when I hope we do come together. It doesn't matter what political side you are, what kind of religion, race, anything you are. When we need the help, the army shows up of people willing to help.
Pictures out of the area was just devastating.
No kidding. We showed a couple of them in our pre-roll, and it's things that were there one day were gone the next. Hi, Mick. I see you. You're AJ in the YouTube chat. Glad to have everybody here. Tonight's not going to be a night about sponsors. It's not going to be a night about likes, subscribes, follows. This is just about raising money and awareness to get Chimney Rock and the locale around them the money they need, and that's what we're here to do. If you got any spare cash, spare is the key word. The links are in the description and in the YouTube chat. Pace car's about to hit pit road. We're about to go green once again. And I think we're going to hit chaos, because it seems like every 8 laps we get that caution.
Green, green, green.
It's like they were practicing for this.
Green flag back in the air. And there it goes. Great start, Dunford and Olafson into turn 1. Dalton's already looking for that third line. Already looking for it.
On this style of track, being able to have the extra groove here, it definitely makes a difference, and the draft is going to pull him forward.
And I also think using that outside lane, a little contact, Nate Orlowski on the apron.
What a save by Nate.
I'll lose a lot of ground. But he's going to keep it going in the right way, and he's going to be able to hold on to the draft back here. And speaking of Nate Orlowski, want to give a shout out to the Circle Volunteer Fire Department. They unfortunately lost 2 of their members in the department helping with this storm when a tree fell on their truck. Assistant Chief Chad Stacher and firefighter Landon Bodie. So thoughts and prayers out to those guys. as everybody knows here on the channel, we like our service members, whether it's military, police, fire, EMS, and other first responders. So we appreciate you and we thank you very much. As they're 3 wide, they are insane.
They are 3 wide. Dalton's trying to move around in different locations, but the battle at the front between Brandon Dunford and Alan Michael Bennett, if you remember, Alan was in the back hitting the wall almost every other lap, and he's made his way up to the front.
And Dalton clears Dormer through the middle, and now he's going to push Dunford out to even more of a lead. That is one thing I've realized with Dalton Fredericks is you give him 5 or 10 minutes of prep time, and he's going to be fast. And it's not even close.
It's so tough racing against him for that reason. But that's, one thing you can respect about him. But, he's not invincible. You've got now the 14 car there coming on the low side, also trying to make a move. And Brandon Dunford up front, able to hold on to it, able to work that draft correctly and work both lines a little bit.
You mentioned on how these feel like open wheel cars with how the tires are bowed out and everything. They are bunny hopping each other like they're modifieds, and I am loving it as a huge modified fan.
These cars are unlike anything that I've seen in terms of racing. I've not had the chance to drive this car, but I've driven a lot of different cars on this simulator, and just seeing how they're racing, it's stuff that I don't expect, and I can't wait to get behind the wheel of one of these.
Yeah, no kidding. If I had time, I was going to stop and get my wheel, and I was going to end up racing this instead of broadcasting it, but I don't know if I'd want to be on the track against Dalton.
Yeah. What's a driver? It's fine. I'm also a driver. We'll be fine. No driver scares me.
Okay, I'll say it. Dalton does. or Scott Ramler on a road course.
That's one that might be a tough one. Scott Ramler on a road course.
But we are still side by side. Our top 4 are 2x2. The 20 you see on your screen, that's Dalton Fredericks. Brandon Dunford in the 8. The 88 of Alan Michael Bennett and the 14 of Zach Domer. All under a blanket, all running within a tenth of each other. And then here comes Nick Fuller as well. Don't sleep on that 5. He's used that draft to close right in, move it to the outside. He's just looking for a hole.
And these drivers, they've been roughly side by side, lap after lap, even at the front. And these guys are going to get a little bit desperate and try and find a little bit more air off the car that they're next to. And I think it's only going to be a few more turns until we potentially see contact happen again. Because you can only race side by side for so long without getting frustrated until you try and get a little bit more.
It literally looks like a super speedway race. Like, we could have done this at New Atlanta, and I think we get the exact same outcome.
Well, I think I think it has to do with the gearing, because these cars don't have restrictor plates. Ultimately, I think the gearing and the way these things can max out in their power threshold is what's allowing the air to have an advantage while they're maxing out what they can do with the actual engine.
Yeah, if we jump on board with either Dalton or Brandon, which we'll jump with the 8 since he's on the inside, he's full bore. He cracks it for maybe a second, if that, and then he slowly gets back into it. By the time he's off the corner, he's back on full throttle. So the off throttle time is very, very minuscule, especially when you're getting pushed. You're able to keep up those RPMs.
Yeah, he's got the shortest way around the track, but he's got Zach Domer beating his bumper down, trying to give him that extra edge in front of that 20 car up top, but that's just getting him squirrely, and we even see it right there. He's got to collect it a little bit. He's going to put 3 wide.
Oh, can they make it through? Wow.
We see it change, but there's still 3 wide. Dalton's holding it out there. He's saying, no, I'm going to keep that air there, and we're going to have a 3 wide battle, or I'm going to take it.
Side drafting on the inside lane. The 8 of Dunford, the 14 of Domer, and then Dalton Fredericks in the 20 on the outside.
The ACAR is only going to be able to do that for so many laps. It is so intense to be able to try and race 3 wide, specifically in the middle. So, and it looks like the 14 car is going to concede that and recognize that there's still some laps to go. Let's put in some green time and just get back to pushing.
Dude, I'm surprised that we were able to hold it that long. With Dunford in the middle, I'm surprised the arrow didn't just suck the car around.
Well, and that's the benefit of whenever you have
88
we have a
hard on
wreck?
the wall entering. No, they didn't wreck, but that was a big hit.
Well, that, as I was about to say, that's the thing about with open wheel cars is that there's a lot of stability that you're able to have with the vehicle whenever you're in those 3 wide situations that you just don't really get with a stock car because the air moves around a lot more. So we're seeing what we can do with these cars in a full body situation with those tires being able to have a little bit of air hitting them as well.
As the 14's in the grass through the tri-oval. Still 2x2 as it looks like Alan Michael Bennett is going to send the 20 into 1. Honestly, I think Fredericks actually benefited from that shot the 88 gave him entering turn 1. Was able to pitch the whole turn 1 and turn 2 perfectly and was by the 8's door. Now you see that outside lane really starting to struggle as we are in full cloud cover right now.
Well, and it really just depends on when that bump's going to come. And what we've been seeing is that on exit, that's when the 14 car is getting into that 8 car, whereas the 88 car, he's kind of holding back a little bit. I think he wants to play it a little bit more conservatively and time those bumps when it's absolutely perfect and not take a risk.
Hey Brandon, check the info of this. Is there a multiplier on the time?
That I am not sure of. It looks like, is it an 8 times multiplier? It looks like it's an 8 times multiplier.
It is an 8 times multiplier. So if this race is going to end in darkness, let's hope they turn on the lights soon.
Yeah, they're going to need them because these cars don't have lights.
Yeah, it's also true. But up front, it is the 8 of Brandon Dunn for Dalton Fredericks still on his outside. The 14 of Zach Domer, the 88 of Alan Michael Bennett, Nick Fuller in the 5 in 5th. Then you have Mick Olofsson in the 34. 8 seconds back, Ryan Fry closing in on Mick Olofsson. And then Nate Arlowski just about another second behind Ryan Fry. Everybody within 10 seconds of each other.
One thing I'm going to start taking a look at as we go through these laps, I'm curious if this 5 car plays a factor in the line that moves faster and has the momentum.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Because in most drafting scenario,
that was almost a wreck.
Yeah,
Dalton was able to hold on to it.
That's that tri-oval. It's really tough to be able to push in that area without getting extremely loose.
And even with nobody pushing Dalton is still fast. But it looks like the 88 gets there right when he needs to just give him like one final push before the turn.
I also think, though, that 88 is recognizing that if he wants a shot to win this race, he may have to either take the low side or he's using that low side to be able to get momentum to be able to give Dalton a push back on the high side.
It just looks like Dunford and Domer are hooked up well together. We'll see how that's going to work when there's 5-ish laps to go. As I say that, Domer already looking... Oh! I thought Dunford opened the door and Domer was going to take it.
Well, in typical Charlotte races, we typically see tire wear play a factor. I'm curious if these tires are starting to get worn in and how they're wearing in. Are they making the car looser or is it making the car push tight and how that wear interacts with the car?
and it's like I said, it's amazing that 20 is still able to hold on to that position when that 88 isn't pushing him. That side
Dalton
draft
just
is
has a way.
insane.
He's got a way to figure out the side draft. He understands it and he's utilizing it.
And they should be good to the finish. They should be. I honestly don't know how that tire wear is gonna play out. This is the first time we've seen these mini stocks. They might be burning those rubbers off at a very accelerated rate, being almost full throttle the whole way around.
Well, and what we should see, if tire wear acts as it traditionally does, and you're running that high line, you're going to see the 20 car get looser and looser as the run goes, and the 8 car get tighter and tighter. So that's going to tell us what this tire wear is doing, as they are so close to making contact up there.
There goes the 88, dipping that inside, using the 14 as a quick drafting partner. And he's just not getting to the 20 again. Oh! Goes... Woo. Big save by the 88. He's still loose. Still loose. He's wrecking.
He is doing whatever it takes.
He's wrecking.
He's doing whatever it takes to wreck the car, apparently. But he's been hanging it out there. I give him a lot of credit for doing what it takes to stick to that bumper. And let me tell you, the 14 car, he was laying it into that 8 car and ensuring that momentum was staying with him. It was a great battle.
Well, we had 4. We are now down to 3. Twisted, able to keep it off the wall. Zach Domer. Brandon, I think you've raced with Twisted before. Alan Michael Bennett, back in the day.
I may have. There's a lot of people I've raced with. I mean, I've been racing with you since, I think, 2012. And I've come across a couple of other people who I figured out their gamer tag later on and was like, oh my gosh, we raced with the same people.
Yeah. And it looks like the 88 has finally done it in, entering turn 3. Yeah, he just loses it on entry. Oh!
We have a lead change up at the front. We've got the 14 car that was able to be pushed on the high side by Dalton to get around that 8 car. And it looks like that 14 car is looking for the favor to be returned by the 8. From all that pushing that was happening before, he's looking for a drafting buddy now and to stay on that low side.
Yeah, but we are looking at just about 10 to go this time by at the line.
Well, bearing any cautions, it looks like we've got a 3-car race right now. Who's your eye? Who's your eye on?
It's still the 20. It's 100% still the 20. I think that 14 and the 8 have to work together to beat the 20.
If I'm being honest, I think Dalton is a very aggressive driver who is going to put the pressure on the 14. And in seeing the 14, he's a little bit squirrely. His car just isn't feeling right, but he's doing everything it takes. I think those two make contact. I think we see Brandon Dunford win it.
That's going to be insane. And that's honestly probably going to have to happen with just a couple laps to go. I wish the software gave me the how many fast repairs are left. It doesn't. But right now, you wreck, it could be fatal.
It definitely is for Dalton. If I remember correctly, I can get the 2 races mixed up, but he was definitely involved in something. Ooh, they are so close to making contact. The 8 car almost got loose, trying to keep it off the 20 car above him.
He's trying. Dalton, I think, is just running his line, his race to the outside. He's really not forcing any issue to the drivers to the inside. He's going to come down and use some of that side draft, and here comes the whole shot out of 2. Fredericks to the point.
He's being smart. He's managing his gaps. He doesn't need to take unnecessary risks with the cars that he's racing around. He just needs to ensure he's in a good position and just take a risk in that one moment.
Oh! Oh, Zach's got to be careful to not come across the 8's bumper and spin himself as Nate Orlowski with an issue on the racetrack.
Oh, right in front of the leaders.
Ooh. Oh, that too hard in the wall. Really hard in the wall. So this starts coming out of 4. Let's jump on board with the 2 because this is an absolute crazy hit.
It just looks like these two weren't even battling over real estate. They were just battling with each other. They didn't seem too happy with each other.
Well, it looked like the 34 was relatively loose. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think what we're seeing is that we've got the 2 car who goes below the 34, and the 34 is trying to hit the apex and the tri-oval just right. But the apex with the car below you adjusts a little bit, and that's where the contact comes into play.
Might not have known that Nate was there, and he's still fighting to try to keep it going straight, and then just loses it. And it ends the 2 of Nate Orlowski's day.
Well, and that tri-oval is one long sweeping corner, so if you lose it in one part of the corner, you're not correcting it until the car is straight again.
No, I don't think so. Well, it's feeding time. That 20 is staying out. Domer, Dunford, Fuller. We'll wait to see if Ryan Frey or Mick Olofsson come down pit road. Mick does. Ryan Frey is going to stay out. Frederick's last pit on lap 6. Probably to use that fast repair. Ryan Frey on 13. Everybody's going to be on fresh Goodyears. And we should go green with a green-white checkered, but not an attempt.
We're really going to be able to see if these tires make a difference.
Yeah. But thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. Come watching the fun run, the charity event for Chimney Rock, North Carolina. If you can, the donation links are in the Discord, in the description and in the chats for Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. If you have any spare change, go donate. It'll help that community get back to normal just a little bit faster. But for the people associated with All-Star 15 TV, let's see if I can give you a little bit of a rundown of how much we were able to donate. Just give me one moment. Math is a heck of a thing. So, Brandon, while I do this, what are you expecting when we go green here?
Well, so whenever we go green here, we're going to see Dalton Fredericks be able to have the line that has the best momentum. We've seen it be that the low side ultimately sticks well, but he's been strong on the high side. So it's going to come down to what part of the track he starts on. But from there, he's got a couple of cars that decided to stay out behind him that really are going to be able to put a gap between him and who he was battling before with the 8 car. It looked like the 14 car didn't have that good of a pit stop either, so he's fallen down in position as well. So I think we're going to see a lot of diciness, more than what we saw during the heat race, and we're going to see ultimately a great battle for the finish.
Between the 6 people donated, it's $120 being sent to the Chimney Rock, North Carolina recovery. That's amazing, guys. See if by the end of the night we can grow that just a little bit more. Lights should be going off on the pace car here. We're going to double up. Dalton Fredericks to the inside. Ryan Frey to the outside. That's going to be fun.
I think if I were the 8 car, I would have gone on the high side there because you've got Dalton on worn-in tires, and you know the high side can get momentum. So I'm looking at that 34 car.
Oh, of Mick Olofsson sitting 4th?
Correct.
Yeah, he's also been strong on the short runs. I'm really curious to see what these tires are gonna do. Are they gonna matter on a green white checkered attempt? Well, pace car is about to duck for cover. That Ford Mustang iRacing official pace car. Unfortunately, two retirees out of the race, Nate Orlowski and Alan Michael Bennett. 6 on the racetrack right there on your screen. And we are
Green flag.
green. There it is. Green flag in the air, and away we go. Fredericks with a great start. At 32, another sleeper on the start there. That's going to open up the door for Brennan Dunford. All over the back bumper of Dalton Fredericks. We will get one green-white checkered attempt if we need it, and there it goes. Fredericks to that outside where he's been the majority of the event tonight. As there goes Dunford diving it into turn 3, and there goes the 34.
He's saving it. What
They
a
both
save. And let
save
me
it.
tell you, I picked that 34 car and I would have done the move that he had done. I was wrong.
White flag in the air, brought to you by the Wrestling with Nerds podcast. Into turn number 1 for the final time. It is Dunford, Domer, Fredericks, Fuller.
Oh, they get loose. They get loose. They're 3 wide.
Fredericks with the advantage to the outside. That inside lane is all broken up. Can Domer get a nice run out of 4? He is even with the 20. Back to the line. The 20 with the advantage. Crossing the line. Dalton Fredericks is going to win the charity event from Charlotte Motor Speedway. What a great 50-lap race.
That was an insane finish that gave us every part of what this race did the entire time. This race was side by side, great battles, great drafting, and that's exactly what we got at the end.
That was a lot of fun, and honestly, a heck of a lot better than I thought we were going to get coming to the end of this race. Let's see if we get a quick word with Mr. Dalton Fredericks. Hey, Dalton, it's AJ and Brandon in the booth. Congratulations on the charity race win. It looked like it was a lot of fun out there, pal.
Oh yeah, it was a ton of fun. Once you figured out the little tricks with this car and where to run, it was a heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah, it looked like Daytona, Talladega, or New Atlanta running around. Were you guys expecting that going into the race this evening?
I did not imagine the draft working as well as it did, especially with these little cars and how slow we're going. I mean, granted, we're not going that slow. We were getting up to 150, so yeah, it was a lot of fun, and man, it was a lot of moving around. That was the best part in the middle of the race, going 3 wide and taking pretty risky moves, but hopefully it looked fun on the stream.
Dude, it looked like an absolute blast, and from the donations from anybody associated with the race and any of the donations they received from anybody at home watching the race, we've seen about $140 donated within the last probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours tops, just from this race alone and the people associated with this race. I know you were a very generous donator with this, so I thank you, and I think the Chimney Rock people also thank you. But dude, congratulations on the win, and since you're basically our only interview this evening, throw out your sponsors because none of them are on the car, so they just still deserve a shout out.
Yeah, I'd like to thank All Star 15 TV. Thank you guys for everything you do for us. Thanks for putting on the broadcast. Everyone who donated, thanks for the donations. great charity. Feel bad for everyone that was affected by the hurricane. Hopefully everyone can find a home that lost their homes. Hope everyone is well. I want to thank Phantom Power Racing, a great team to be with. I'd like to thank Joe Hutchings for everything he does for me. Jake Ziddell, Nerds Doing Nerd Things, BMS, everyone else. Thank you guys, and hopefully you guys have a good night.
Yeah, brother. Thank you for talking with us. Congratulations on the win. And for anybody watching at home, if you haven't yet, go donate if you got the spare cash. But Brandon, what an absolute fun event tonight.
It was an absolute blast to be able to watch, and it came down to exactly what we had talked about at the very beginning: who's able to hold on to the car as the air moves around it, and who can adapt to it the quickest. And Dalton definitely is able to adapt quick, and I've been proven wrong a lot tonight. He wasn't my pick at the end, and I got proven wrong. So
I stuck with him all night.
You did stick with him all night. You did.
I mean, come on. You're betting against Dalton? Really? Come on.
Hey, every squirrel finds a nut occasionally. So
as he just blows the motor.
Hey, you gotta burn it down.
Yeah, he definitely did. Well, thank you very much for coming up here and broadcasting with me. This was so much fun to have somebody new in the booth. So probably one of my closest friends on the sim, if not from 10 years ago to now. But yeah, thank you very much for your support. Thank you for joining me, and let's not make this the last time, because this was fun.
Yeah, thank you for having me whenever you want me. As long as I'm available, I'm willing, and I'll work on my craft.
All right, brother. Well, thank you. Thank everybody for watching. Thank everybody for donating. We appreciate it. Tomorrow night is the XMS trucks at Chicagoland. We'll be going live right around 8:35. Be there, be square. Till then, take care, everybody.